My name is Thomas J. Barrett. I stole a $2 can of beer. I ended up spending 3 months in jail, 12 months probation. The punishment doesn't fit the crime. And if I had money, that wouldn't be a problem.
Private probation companies across the U.S. supervise people who are on probation for minor offenses, collect all of their outstanding debts and fines and court costs, and they won't charge the courts a penny. Instead, probationers pay them fees in exchange for their services. Tom Barrett is a good example of someone who found himself literally drowning in probation fees. He had been sentenced to wear a leg monitor, and that cost him $360 a month.
And this monitor would monitor whether I drank or not. And until I could arrange to get that leg monitor, they locked me up.
The U.S. Supreme Court has said that a person on probation can't be put in jail simply because they don't have the money to pay a fine.
Private probation companies make a tremendous amount of money. Their goals are to try to keep people in the system as long as possible. That is so they can collect more probation fees, because that's an economic engine running their businesses. Your probation should have run out.
Yes, sir. And when they told me what I was being arrested for, they said something about probation violation.
Well, I hope we can get it worked out.
Yes, sir.
There is no way I could pay $2,000. I mean, even with the little change that I'm getting now, I can give them that, and it still won't even put a dent in it, because it's going to keep growing. And see, that's how they get you.
It often comes down to a person's probation officer to determine whether they can afford to pay money that they owe. But an employee of a private probation company has a financial stake in every single one of these cases. Many of these probation companies are not really acting like probation officers at all, but debt collectors.
They prey on the people that's not financially stable. Right now, I'm getting SSI, disability income, and food stamps. Every penny that I get, it goes into me living. By the end of the month, I'm broke.
What they would tell me is, well, in order for you not to go back into jail, you're going to have to at least pay this much. When you get in arrears a certain amount, you automatically go to jail. And so what I started doing was selling plasma. But I was putting every penny I could into the leg monitor because I didn't want to be locked up. And I ended up having to walk everywhere because I couldn't afford bus fare. I went hungry because I couldn't afford food. It was $12 a day, and there was no way I could make $12 a day, so I was always falling behind. So I ended up getting locked up 3 times over stealing this can of beer.
If a probation company is getting someone locked up because they owe them money, then that costs the taxpayer money to keep that person in jail every day. And that really undercuts the whole rationale for contracting with these companies, which is that it's supposed to be cost-free to everyone except the probationer.
A private company is shifting costs back to the government, and all taxpayers should be opposed to it. From a human interest on a few, we don't lock people up in this country because they're poor.
Some counties and municipalities have actually turned away from private companies partly because of all these problems and have gone back to running probation services themselves.
As a government operation, I don't have that feeling that I need to keep someone on just to keep them paying a supervision fee. It is not uncommon to find folks that absolutely cannot pay. Then we have to decide, okay, what needs to be paid, what can we get rid of?
If states are going to allow local courts to use private probation companies, then they have to realize that there's an urgent need for very strong government oversight over what these companies are doing and how they're treating people, and complete financial transparency about how much money they are collecting from people.